Assist in today's thank you, Cecilia. This is being recorded, and it's useful for us in order to do that. So thank you for those that are here today. My role today is to introduce you to Cecilia Young. You are in for such a treat today. We are going to learn so much about the dynamics of personality and working with people and improving our relationships and resilience. And Cecilia brings to the table a wealth of knowledge. She has worked with so many different organizations around so many different countries. She is coming to us, most of us here, not all of us, but most of us are here in Australia. We have people coming from around the world to participate in this masterclass. And Cecilia comes to us from Canada. And Cecilia has worked with large corporate organizations as well as individuals to improve their human skills, which is what we're passionate about. So I hope you have got a pen and paper to take some notes. This is purely professional development, so you are going to get lots and lots of value today. And I would now like to hand over to Cecilia to kick off our masterclass. I will be in the background here, so you're most welcome to pop things into the chat if you need to, or ask me any questions, but you're in the beautiful hands of Cecilia right now. Over to you, Cecilia.
All right. Thank you, Barb. Thanks for that amazing intro. Welcome, everyone. So happy to see your faces. It's always great to engage in a masterclass where the video cameras are on. So please keep your cameras on if you like to just keep active. And it's also okay if you turn your cameras off. I will be presenting from a PowerPoint deck, but I will encourage you to engage and pop comments into the chat. We'll have a couple of engaging exercises and possibly, if timing will permit, a breakout session towards the end. But I'm just very happy to see all of you here. The topic today is really interesting and is dear to my heart. It's about resilience, and we're bringing a personality element to it. So I'm curious about why that topic was of interest for you, what drew you to say yes. And more than saying yes, you actually took the action to show up, and you showed up on time. That's incredible. So I really want to acknowledge you and honor you for that. We're going to be engaging in about 19 minutes of very interesting content. We're going to make it as personal as possible. We sent you a link to get a free personality assessment. And if you didn't do it, if you didn't get a chance to get your free Lumina Splash, don't worry, it's totally okay. The content explains itself, and you will understand what category you are in, what color you are in. I also take into account that many of you already have some access or have some experience with psychometric assessments in the past. Now, as I said, this session is going to be about resilience. It's a favorite topic of Barbara's and mine. We've done quite a few sessions. We do a lot on stress management and building resilience. This one has a personality layer to it. And I want to just preface it by saying we're all really complex human beings. Each human being is really unique, like every single one of you are. We cannot define you by a personality type. I am merely suggesting that there's another layer of info and data that we can look at. And it just makes it interesting. We increase our self-awareness. It can help us to increase awareness about others, the people that we work with, and the people that are dear to us at home. So with the information you'll be taking today, you'll be receiving today, I hope that not only will you use it to increase your self-awareness, but see how you can use it to engage better with people at work, and see if you can try out these strategies and share them with your loved ones, your family members, your friends. So today is called, our masterclass is called The Resilience Playbook, going from stress to strength with personality awareness. So I'm going to share my screen, and I have a PowerPoint deck. I'm going to be going back and forth. For those of you who have attended my master class before, we will have some interactive exercises. So I'm going to ask you to pull out your phone. And the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is take part in a Slido. And I'd like to find out from you what experience you have with psychometric assessments, because this is about understanding, learning a little bit more using personality awareness. I wonder if everyone can see my screen. Am I sharing right now, Barb? I don't
Yeah,
think I
you're
am.
sharing. You are.
Oh, I am? Okay, great, great.
We can
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you. All right. If you could pull out your
I
phone.
cannot see your screen.
You can't see my screen, Kazi?
No.
I can
Barb,
see
you
it.
can see it.
I
You
can
can see
see
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay, let
Can
me double
everybody
check.
else see it?
Okay, now I can see.
Great. Thank you. So if I can get you to pull out your phone and scan the QR code, we're just going to do a quick poll. Which personality or psychometric assessments are you familiar with? And you can answer more than one, because I'm sure with your backgrounds, with your histories, you have done more than one of these. And just answer, select as many as applicable. And let's just get a read of the room. Okay, many of you are familiar with DIS, MBTI. Okay, quite a few of you are familiar with DISC. If you scroll down, there are more. There's the Enneagram and Insight and Hogan. But it looks like DISC is the main one. Let's wait another 30 seconds. Whoops. Okay. Great. Thank you for your participation. So quite a few of you are familiar with DISC, some with MBTI and Big Five. And whether you have some information, whether you're familiar or not, this is the foundation level. Everyone will be able to get something out of the content that I've designed today. And the purpose is for you to walk away with some real world strategies that you can apply immediately. So our objectives will, one of them will be to help you recognize your personality style, how that might influence you in your day-to-day stress responses, and how it may affect you when you are triggered. We'll also talk about some proven techniques on how to stay resourceful, and especially during high tense situations. We're going to look at different stress regulation strategies for those of you not familiar. And by the end of it today, I hope that after the session, you will have a personalized resilience toolkit. And with the strategies and tips you'll learn from today, you'll also receive follow-up emails so that you can continue down this path if you choose to go a little bit deeper with personality awareness. I'd like to kick off with just a very quick intro to the Hinwood Institute. Where did we get this name from? As you can see, we are honoring the legacy of Dr. John Hinwood, who passed away in 2020. He and his wife, Judy, created an incredible body of work, including stress management, which Michael Massey and Barbara Clifford in 2021 joined forces to really continue his legacy. Barbara comes with a lot of corporate training experience. Michael Massey comes from corporate wellness. The combination of stress management and corporate training is something that I am personally interested in. In fact, it was a personal interest of mine, so that I joined forces with Barbara. I'm over here all the way from Canada, and somehow we found each other. And this is us in Phuket in June of this year. And we really decided that we have something really unique, the two of us. Let's join forces and bring our talents, our gifts, and our passion to the world. So in addition to stress management, I have a lot of experience in leadership development. Barb is the expert in time management. Together, we are very comfortable talking about the difficult, those awkward, and the uncomfortable aspects of the workplace. And whether it's leading change or challenging relationships or difficult conversations and team dysfunctions, we are very prepared to take it on. So the two of us, we say that we're a couple of Gen Xers. We learned emotional intelligence years back. We started in the workforce before there was email. We use very ancient tools like the telephone and the fax machines. So we are very experienced. We're also really imperfect. We're very human. And what brings us together, what keeps us going week to week, is that we're very passionate about supporting others. And that's why we're here today. So our model is about supporting you to becoming the resilient leader. As you can see, these topics, from Tame Your Time, which is Barb's expertise, to Better Together, team performance, essential human skills, emotional intelligence, Talk Smart, communication skills. Today is about Feel Good at Work, which is workplace resilience. And Mission Control is our leadership pillar.
Cecilia,
are you
sharing
Yes.
slides? I'm not seeing them. Is
You're not
anybody
seeing them?
else just
Are you
Yeah,
seeing?
is it just me?
I'm seeing them.
Okay. All right, just me.
Thank you. Thanks for checking in. Please unmute yourself and check in anytime if there's something that I'm missing. So let's get to our content today, which is about personality awareness. So just pop in the chat, give me a thumbs up in your reactions button. Did you get your free Luminous Splash? We sent you a link. It took you you had to answer about 20 questions to get this free splash. If you didn't, it's not the end of the world, because the content is not directly linked to that you having the splash. It would make a little bit more interesting. And if you didn't, you can also get it afterwards. So give me a thumbs up or pop in the chat if you're able to get your free Luminous Splash. You did. Great, Samara. Okay. A few others did not. Okay. So I'm just going to share with you that this splash, if you didn't get it, I really recommend it. And Barb is going to pop the link in the chat. It's really handy. After you receive your free splash, you will get an insight as to what your top 3 aspects are, what your primary color is. And the fun part is you can actually compare your splash with coworkers and friends. And I'll demo this a little bit later. But I'm going to move on, because if you don't have it, whether you have it or not, it's just an added bonus. So I'm going to jump to our first exercise, which is I'm going to ask all of you, tell me, what is a great day at work for you? Just take a moment and pause. Take a deep breath. What makes a great day at work for you? Now, I'm going to ask you in a minute. You're gonna pop some comments in the chat, but I have a few guidelines. Okay, a great day at work means that you are actually working, so you can't say when I was on vacation. Okay, and a great day at work, I'm not talking about those wow days where you won an award or you got a promotion, you got a raise. I'm talking about everyday great days, and they don't have to be super dynamic. It's just a day where you did something you enjoy, you felt like you walked out of there, and it was what you would call a great day. What were you doing? Who were you with? So take a few minutes to think about it, and then I'm going to ask you to pop in the chat. And okay, great, thank you. Samara said, great day is when all the team are happy, positive, proactive. And Samara, I would ask you to go another level, and that is to say, what were you doing? Who were you with? And Sita says, a lot of things ticked off my list. No unexpected challenges. That's not in your job description. Okay, great. Kazi, when you get to solve a problem, what were you doing? Like, you're able to get into the nitty-gritty and solve a problem. Excellent. Who were you with? For some people, it's like I was working on my own and nobody bothered me. That could be a great day at work. Working in my most impactful zone with my customers, says Matt. Excellent. Michael, when you don't have to put out fires and not deal with drama. Sita, yes, it's a great day. No one bothering me. So do you see that we're getting some clues here as to personality? And what is it that's unique about you? What constitutes a great day? So there's quite a bit of research about joy and happiness at work, finding passion. What constitutes a great day at work? Here's the research. The research says that a great day includes using your strengths. If you're able to use your strengths, put them in play, like Kazi said, solving a problem. And even though Michael says not putting out fires, I bet there's a part of you that's really good at putting out fires and solving problems. Just not the extreme kind. When you're solving problems, that's using your strengths. Another one is doing what you love. It could be your talents, and your strengths become your talents. And because you're good at it, you enjoy doing it, and then you do it more. And because the more you do it, the more they become strengths. So there's a really positive cycle there, doing what you love. Another one that I train quite a bit on in the leadership program is experiencing your values. If your job, task, your day-to-day, there's some of them, not all of them, some of them are aligned with your top values, it can really be an enjoyable day. And lastly, this is the one that we're going to spend a little bit more time talking about, is when you're feeling grounded and you're feeling resourced. What I mean by feeling resourced is you're good, you're strong. Not too much can knock you down. Think about those days when you came in, you're strong. Even if a challenge did come your way, even if there was a drama, you're in a much better position to handle it than if you are not resourced. That's really the base of our masterclass today. Knowing what your strengths are and knowing how to get grounded and resourced when you're knocked down. This is going to be your superpower. This is your ability to deal with life's inevitable challenges. So, what does personality have to do with this? I'll get to it. I want to share a quick quote by Martin Seligman, who is the founding father of modern positive psychology. I owe a lot of my career to Marty, as he is affectionately known, because about 15 years ago, I came across positive psychology and talked about working with strengths. I remember thinking, why would people come to a training on their strengths? We're supposed to train people on their weaknesses. And I learned a big lesson. So since then, I've been a huge advocate for strengths-based training and coaching, because not only does it bring you happiness, it is a lot easier for people to take on board. When people are showcasing their talents, they're using their strengths, they light up. There is energy in the room. The times that I've facilitated exercises, when people are talking about their strengths, you can feel the energy in the room, and people are just, faces are lit up. That is what makes a great day at work, when we're able to use our strengths. And if we're not able to use our strengths, even be strengths adjacent. That helps, because it's so easy to bump it into a super strength if a strength's adjacent. So he says that when we use our strengths every day, it really brings us not only personal happiness, but it helps to forward knowledge, power, and goodness. So we're going to add the personality dimension to that by talking about the 4 colors. I'm going to show you the next slide. It's just a simple 4 colors overview. And for those of you who are familiar with DISC, you will know this. And if you don't, I will explain it in a way that all of you will see which color is your primary color. If you look at the 4, they're very obvious: green, yellow, red, and blue. If you look at the green and blue, that's in DIS, we say this is more of the indirect side. And then the yellow and red are the direct. The green and yellow on top are people-oriented, whereas blue and red are task-oriented. We'll get into the colors, and I'll give you the DISC equivalent with each one. So take some inventory and see which one you think you are. And I want to emphasize and stress that we're not putting you into one of four. You are definitely so much more than a single color. This is about the energy of the color that you prefer to work in. And for some people at work, they're one color, there's a preference, and at home, they have a completely different color. So it's knowing all four colors' energies, but knowing that there is a primary one that you tend to feel more comfortable in. So the first one is conscientious blue. And in DIS, this would be the C, the compliance. And conscientious blue is structured and methodical, enjoys data, quite known for working with detail. And the conscientious blue energy is measured, contained, and can also be quite meticulous with controlling. They like their information in writing. They're very good with details, organized, and their behavior is methodical. Likely to be introverted, and they will take their time before speaking out. These are the strengths of conscientious blue. So many strengths, and typically comfortable with working independently and very self-reliant. So have a think about that. Do you have a lot of blue energy? The next one is empowering green. So in DIS, this would be the S. And empowering green is an excellent listener, very good in one-on-one situations, one-to-one conversations. Tends to be calm and a voice of reason, collaborative and friendly. You remember, green is on the indirect side, but people focus. Quite free-flowing, engaging, great at empathy. They tend to be in touch with their feelings, and they are very good at handling conflict diplomatically. So a lot of strengths with the empowering green color. They often negotiate through listening. They're great listeners. So have a think about if empowering green is your color. Next one, we have inspiring yellow. And just look at that first bullet point. Galvanizes energy and excels in building relationships. They see trends and patterns not obvious to others. Inspiring yellow is the kind of energy, the color that is excited and animated. They're often full of enthusiasm. Optimism is a good way to describe inspiring yellow. They are free-flowing ideas. They like to talk fast. They use a lot of body language. They're easy to mix. They're very comfortable talking in front of large groups, and they're rarely shy. Quite conceptual, and they like talking about theory. They like talking about vision, and they are great conversationalists. Lots of energy. So I'm going to ask you to think, is inspiring yellow your color? Do you remember yellow is a direct energy and is people focus? The last one is commanding red. Commanding red is task-oriented and direct. So this would be the D in DISC. Tends to step forward and take the initiative. Very focused on getting results. Prefers to get things done quickly and efficiently. They're to the point, time efficient, and they're business first. Sometimes they can come across as direct and upfront, but they're very comfortable in competitive situations, and they're very happy to take an assertive stance in the face of conflict. So they are very comfortable taking the lead and providing direction. So that's a quick explanation of the four colors. So does commanding red resonate with you, or inspiring yellow, empowering green, or conscientious blue? So I'm going to ask you, which one do you think is your dominant color? And I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and see, just kind of try to read the chat and see what you've said about your. Excuse me a minute. Okay, I think I've got some people in the chat. I can't get to it because sometimes there we go. Okay, great. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, Samara is between inspiring yellow and red. Okay. Kazi is green. Okay, green, blue, great. Sita, definitely blue. All right. Yeah, we're all going to be a mixture. And I don't know if you can see these blocks here. When I'm a typical day for me, I am yellow, red, green, blue. And this is usually when I'm presenting. If I am working on a project and I have a deadline, it'll probably be red first. I use my red energy. We have access to all four, and you will pull out the ones that you need based on the task that you're on. When I'm coaching, I probably go green, yellow, red, blue. But I don't know if you notice, blue is always on the bottom, and it's rarely a color that I access. If I need to, I can, but it's my least preferred color energy. And anyone who knows me will know that I'm definitely these three. So what I'm saying is you are able to use all four energies, but there's one that is more home for you, one that you have developed over the years, one that is your strength. And all the things that we described earlier, those are your amazing strengths. And you will know when you see people, you meet them, you know that they are very good at this. You just get it. And then you'll know that there are those who are more thoughtful. They take time, they're more deliberate. They're going to come up with really interesting insights. So this is not just reading yourself, but also reading your coworkers and knowing the strengths that they bring to the table. While we have our strengths, there's also the flip side. The flip side is when we're stressed, we respond to the stress triggers differently, each personality type. I'll talk about those in a moment, but I want to just start out by saying that there are many stressful situations in life. We have a lot of triggers that cause stress. Just being out in the world these days, there's so much information coming at us. There is a blanket level of stress that we're exposed to. The stressors that I'm talking about are unique and they are more manageable. They're the kind of stressors that will really affect one person, but for you, it's like, what's the big deal? I'm not getting stressed out over it, but the next person will be. So these are the stress triggers related to personality. Let me go back to my slide deck. Hold on one second. Okay, thank you for sharing your dominant color. And now I am going to talk about stress triggers. So I'm going to ask you to pop in the chat as well. And if you are yellow, if you're blue, if you are green or red, you will know. Please tell us which color. I'd like you to guess. If it's a boring work environment, there is a lack of engagement. They're not encouraged to speak their mind. They're not able to be a free spirit. Which color do you think this is? Ask you to pop in the chat. Is it inspiring yellow? Is it empowering green? Barb, can you see the chat? I can't get to it.
I can.
can.
Alicia's responded. She said yellow.
Yellow.
Yellow, yay! Well done. Okay. Next one. What color are you if you are triggered by lack of evidence? you're being forced to be hasty. Your time is wasted due to poor planning, and they're unreliable colleagues. Which color is triggered by this?
Cedar has said blue because that's
because
her.
that's her. Yes, it is. Well done, Cedar. Spot on.
Sharon
Okay.
said blue as well.
Okay, you got it. All right. So now we've deduced it to, 2 more. I'm sure you can figure it out. Third one, if you have wishy-washy colleagues, they're indecisive, that not having control and a lack of action. Which color gets triggered by these actions?
Sue has said red.
Absolutely. You're spot on, Sue. Red. Okay. And the last one is empowering green. Selfish people taking advantage of others, a lack of empathy, people seeking conflict, and where there's injustice. Now, I'm not saying these are the main triggers. They tend to bother the primary colors, these colors more than others. But of course, if we have selfish people taking advantage of others, it would bother all of us. It just so happens that it triggers empowering green more than the others. That's all. We're not saying that these are unique to the colors. Just having this awareness. And I didn't know, well, if I guess I already told you, I am yellow is my top, I'm 100% yellow. So I didn't know that if I don't have the opportunity to speak my mind, I didn't realize this until I learned more about from Lumina, that it can dampen my spirit. It can actually make me feel sluggish. So that's something that this awareness is very interesting for me, because then it's up to me to have that outlet at work. So before we get into the strategies, let's talk a little bit more about how the colors, when stressed, how it shows up. So conscientious blue, when conscientious blue is stressed, they can, we talked about the strengths earlier, but when blue is stressed, they can get overly concerned and they get lost in details. Also, when someone with a lot of blue energy comes under stress, they fall into the habit of just gathering information because they want more and more data. And then they will isolate themselves and get stuck in what we call analysis paralysis. And to others, it seems like they're indecisive, but it's just a little bit of extra stress causing them to want to get more details. And empowering green, when green feels stressed, they can get emotionally stretched and they get obsessed with consensus, making sure that everyone's voice is heard. So they will stop taking actions to make it in order for everyone's voice and making sure that people are heard first. And you might see them becoming very quiet and passive. And maybe saying no is very difficult for the empowering green. Another indication is that green may feel anxious when they're in the middle of conflict. Remember what I said earlier, that green is great at conflict because they're good at listening, but when they're stressed, they become anxious. So the key here is it's a strength. It's great. You walk day to day as a strength, but when you cross the line, it becomes a weakness. It works against you. So we're going to talk about that. Where is that fine line and how do you pull yourself and resource yourself? But just know that each color has a different way to express their stress. Next one is inspiring yellow. So someone who is great, they galvanize energy, they're very enthusiastic, but when they're stressed, they can get lost. They don't have any organization. I'm speaking from personal experience. They can be impulsive and they will act first before thinking things through. Whereas the blue really needs to step out and think. Yellow just acts impulsively. And they can be seen as distracted. They can't concentrate. And when they're under pressure, they will use generalizations like, everything is hopeless. It's a mess. So look out for yellow energy when they are stressed. Last one is commanding red. So commanding red, great strengths, right? Direct, be in control, take a leadership position. But when they're overwhelmed, they can upset others. They can be overbearing and argumentative. And when they're put under pressure, definitely they can take on a very dominant and even an argumentative stance. Their direct approach can become too confrontational. And because the stress is driving them to win or get results at all costs. It's not their personality, it's the stress talking. Because we know how amazing red energy is to get work done. So I hope I have explained enough that there are strengths, but sometimes we just cross over. And the key here is, how do we know when we have crossed over? I also want to add that life is stressful. There's so many things that we have to deal with. These are not the only things, but when it comes to just that additional awareness around personality profiles, this can help you. At least this will give you some unique strategies and strategies that are catered for you. And when I talk about daily stresses, I mean, if you look at this quote, when I was doing research for emotional resilience, I came across this and I thought, this is so fitting. You know, this psychologist, Mitchell Clark, he said that we're not designed to process stress and information all day. We start out in the morning with what's wrong with the world. We're responding all day. And then we fall asleep doom scrolling at night. Our nervous systems and our bodies were just not designed for this. So here is where Barb and I come in. We offer a lot of tools and help and relief from this kind of daily exposure to stress. But first, I'd like to give you some quick strategies. So for the 4 colors, very straightforward. Blue, give them some space. Green, give them some reassurance. It's great to say, hey, how are you doing to a green, but not necessarily to someone who's blue. They just want to get out. They want to have some quiet time to think. And then yellow, they need to get out and move. Tell them to listen to some music and go out and move around. We'll have a walk around the block. And then red, they need to take some action. So when there's poor performance in the workplace, or somebody is just not responding well, or they're behaving in ways that you feel are not professional, or it's just not appropriate, maybe it's just they are stressed and they are severely unregulated. They might just need some support with their regulation. And what would be a good starting point is to find out, what are those stress triggers? And not having to solve problems. I can assure you that these strategies do not solve the world's problems. But when you're a little bit more regulated, you're in a much better position to handle the situation in front of you. So learning self-management or self-regulation can be a total game changer. And Barb is delivering a masterclass on From Smashed to Smashing It on October 8th. I really recommend attending, because that one is going to focus on very specific stress management strategies. But first, let's talk about the colors and what we can do, how we can support the 4 colors. So if you're blue, you can actually tell your team what are some of the ways to support you. And if you know somebody who is conscientious blue or inspiring yellow, you might take on some of these tips on how to support them if you can see them dysregulated. Oh, by the way, these are great for using at home with your children. And also, chances are, if you are blue, your partner will be the opposite. If you are yellow, your partner's probably blue. If you're green, your partner's probably red, or they have a lot of that energy. So you can use this to see how you can support them at home. So for conscientious blue, I'll let you read that. Just give them the space, let them analyze. Do not rush them. Just be patient. Give them that time and space. And don't worry about taking down all the notes. We're going to send this to you in a cheat sheet in a follow-up email. So this is for blue. Remember what I said, okay? If you are blue, it is totally okay to say, hey, I need some space, and tell people what you need. Tell people what your boundaries are. For empowering green, a way to really support them is to just say, hey, do you want to take 5 minutes to talk about it? Show your concern, ask them questions, connect with them. This is a great way to help the color green regulate. Inspiring yellow, I don't know if you've, I definitely need to just blurt out and unload. So let them talk it through. Hold space with them, let them blurt everything out, and then give them encouragement. Show optimism and support. They don't need their problem solved. They just need a sounding board to let their energy out. And then for commanding red, they need to demonstrate fast action. So put them at the helm. Say, okay, what are you going to do? Tell me the top 3 things that you can do right now. And this is also something, if red is in this stressed out situation, you can say, look, I need to keep moving. So don't take it personally. I just need to do these 3 things right now. So you could use it in combination as your own strategy or to support somebody else. So I'm going to pause for a moment here and just want to check if these are landing with you, if this makes sense. Okay, and Barb says, yes, your partner is definitely the opposite. And just wondering if you have any questions. I think Sue said, I'm a rainbow. Yeah, that's great. It means that you are situational. We never put someone in one color. We say that it really depends on context. And in fact, when you do the free Lumina splash, it teases out. We start with 4 colors, and then we expand to 8 aspects, which I will get to momentarily. Yes, so Sita working from home and needing time out to focus. Okay. Oh, great. Yeah, you request working from home. When you have too much to do, you need to pull away and you need to distance yourself from all that contact. Okay, great. So anyone else resonate with yellow or red needing to take charge, or yellow needing to just talk things through? So my partner is blue-red, and he laughs at me because he knows when I'm stressed, because I get even more animated, and I'm already pretty animated, but that stress adds another dimension, and the volume is loud, and he's learned that he just needs to listen and encourage me. And then once that's done, I feel pretty good, and then I can get back on track. So try these out and see if there's one that will work for you. Have a think about it. I'm not sure if you have thought of it before as your personality. It could have been just something that you've always done, but now you can link it. There's a lot of research behind the personality types, and I'll be sharing more resource materials with you. And Alicia said, definitely yellow, need to unload. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comments. So the next piece is about the 8 aspects, and it helps if you have done the free, the Lumina Splash. If you haven't, I'll explain very quickly and you'll understand it. And what you can do is get the splash and then reach out to me and I can give you a quick overview. I've been training and facilitating Lumina Spark and this particular profiling system for 3 years now. I do this day in, day out. It is fascinating to me. And when compared to the other assessments, I love it because it's modern, it's fresh, it's relatively new on the market, but it measures you on your everyday, like when you're at work, when you're feeling strong, and then when you're at home, when you're more relaxed. And then also, it also measures you when you're stressed and overwhelmed. So you're getting to see your strengths in different personas. And with the data, I'm able to look through and make a lot of predictions about how you are day to day. But more importantly, what are some of the tips and strategies to help you stay resourced and be in your strengths most of the time? Maybe it's not possible all of the time, but let's aim for most of the time. Aim for those great days at work. And Barb and I talk about this. They're not special. It's like for Barb, for myself, when we deliver a training and nothing went terribly wrong, people are inspired and we get to walk away. That is an awesome day, but that's not every day. And a great day at work is we got some work done. We had a great meeting. We were able to use our strengths. We're able to design a piece of training. And then we get to talk about it because we're both talkers. Now that's a great day at work. Nothing special, but these components, once you know them, you can add them to your recipe for a day to day. So let's see. Sita thought it was something everyone does. Well, not a yellow, not for me. For a yellow, just like to push everything aside. So I think there are some general strategies, but you will find that understanding your personality a little bit more, you get to understand what is it that your driving force is and what you tend to avoid. So thank you. Michael, absolutely. As a red blue, no excuses. Yeah, I can totally see that. All right. I'm going to get into the 8 aspects. And for those of you who have been talking about the combos, you will understand this. You will totally get this. So the 8 aspects, let me just get back to that, my point. Okay, share screen. Great. I hope you can see my screen now. There are also triggers for the 8 aspects. So we started with the 4 colors. The 4 colors expand to 8 aspects. And I'm not going to describe each one in detail, but I'm going to describe the triggers and you might recognize them. So first off, introverted and extroverted. So you see that it's on opposite sides. For those of you who said you were purple, like you're somewhere over here. Introverted. Extroverted is yellow and red combined. We all know introverted and extroverted. What will trigger an introvert will be overstimulation, pushy people, time wasting, small talk, and being forced in the spotlight. This will trigger the introverted aspect. Extroverted, pessimism, lack of freedom, boredom, rules. For those of you who are yellow, you can totally relate to this. This is the extroverted aspect. Lack of variety, unfriendliness, rude people. Here are some other triggers. These triggers are for inspiration-driven and discipline-driven. So these 2 aspects, as you can see, inspiration is up top. Inspiration-driven is more ideas, creativity, innovation, concepts. So it's a combination.
Cecilia?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just letting you know that we're seeing your presented slides. So we're seeing the preview ones coming up.
Thank you.
Sita picked it up. I didn't pay attention, but
I
Sita
don't know
picked it
what
up.
I'm
Thanks, Sita.
doing. So like I said, I'm imperfectly human, really.
Yeah.
I still get it wrong, but you didn't see my notes because I don't have any. I just talk off the cuff. All right, so I'm back to inspiration driven. Can you see the slides now? Inspiration driven and discipline driven. Great. Inspiration driven, I score very high. I'm 100% inspiration driven. Poor Barb, because she is almost 100% discipline driven. We're like opposites, but that's what makes us a great pair. I'm ideas. I'm all about going with the flow. She's all about structure and having a plan. So for those who are inspiration driven, your triggers are unable to change commitments. What this means is I'm not able to change my plans last minute. I always like to have the safety net to be able to change my plans. And being micromanaged, bureaucracy, obligations, details and routine can really drag the inspiration driven down. And then for those of you who are discipline driven, lack of accountability will drive you crazy. Rushed decisions, lack of planning, and distractions from core goals. So these two aspects, you can be high in both, okay? I want to emphasize that with Lumina, you can be, doesn't mean that if you're 100% inspiration driven, you're zero discipline driven. It just means that each aspect is measured independently. The next two aspects, down to earth and big picture thinking. Down to earth is that even the words down to earth. So those of you who said you were purple, and I think Michael is definitely scores high in down to earth. You will tend to be triggered by over optimism, change for the sake of change. Like, I want to see the evidence before I'm willing to change, not addressing my concerns, impractical changes, or ignoring the rules. And then on the other end is big picture thinking, ideas, vision, future, taking risks, pushing the envelope. So for those who score high in big picture thinking, you will be triggered if there's closed-mindedness. There's no development. You're not getting the feedback to encourage you to move forward, not taking risks. The last two aspects, people focus and outcome focus. So people focus, a lot of the green energy, but also a little bit of blue in there. People focus will be triggered by conflict, criticism, making unpopular decisions and not being liked. Whereas outcome focus, and I've seen a lot of leaders, they can actually be both. A lot of those in leadership tend to be more outcome focused. Being overruled will trigger them, lack of control, not being respected, not being listened to when there is no action. So again, I'm talking about the stress triggers. There are so many strengths to each aspect that I haven't had a chance to get into, but I want to emphasize that we're here to talk about how to build your resilience, how to overcome the stressors. So with that, I'm going to say, do not force yourself to compensate. Do not force a behavior, but instead regulate and resource. Because when you're resource, when you are strong, you can handle so much. You stand in your strengths. So how do you regulate your stress? I know that these are the basics: exercise, being out in nature, having some kind of mindfulness practice, eating a good diet, spending time with your friends and family. A pet is incredible for regulating stress and good sleep. Now, these are just the basics. We're not here to give you a wellness program 101. But sometimes it's about what you stop doing. And one of those things could be stop watching crime dramas in bed before you go to sleep, or eating food that's low in nutritional value. So that aside, and as I said, Barb's got some great strategies in her upcoming masterclass. You might get some additional tips there. But what I want to talk about are some regulation strategies you can apply now, immediately, and relate it to your personality. So Viktor Frankl, we refer to him quite a bit because his quote is very powerful in our Lumina training. And that is, there's a stimulus and then there is your response. And he says that there is a space in between. In that space is your power to choose your response. And how you respond is your greatest growth and your freedom. So think about that for a moment. Lots of stimulus all day, and there are many reactions. This masterclass is about how do you maximize that space? How do you take control of that space and not just react? It takes time, it takes practice, it takes discipline. It's possible. It's not every single day because we lose it from time to time. But what if we got better and better at expanding that space? So if you are more red or yellow, more high energy, and you need to calm, you need to slow down, here are some calming techniques that you can use immediately. So relaxation mindfulness practices, if you're not familiar, I'm sure everyone has some kind of mindfulness practice. We have a whole list of them. We're more than happy to share them with you. I'm not going to get into all of them, but I'd like to mention a couple of quick ones. I think I mentioned this in a previous masterclass, but they're so easy, so practical, and so useful that they're worth mentioning. Life actually offers us a lot of simple tools, and do not take these lightly just because they're simple. They're very, very useful. So box breathing is a great one. Breathing exercises. I tell my clients, you're always just one deep conscious breath away from your highest self. Just one deep conscious breath. And you can totally regulate your stress. Maybe not one, but 2 or 3, you're ready in a very different state to deal with the situation in front of you. I've talked about eye movements in the past. Eye movements is just a great way to exercise your scanning ability. And all it is just using, I learned this from polyvagal theory training, and the teacher taught us that when we move our eyes from left to right, we're actually giving ourselves a sense of safety. Because as human beings, we're supposed to, yeah, that's right, Barb. We're designed to walk upright and scan the environment for us to feel secure. And in our modern world, we're not doing that. We're sitting all day and we're staring at these small screens. So we're not using such a simple skill, human skill, is eye movement. So whenever you're stopped and you're want to, give yourself a timer, just take a little break and do left and right eye movements. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding, very simple. If you're feeling anxious, feeling a little overwhelmed, meetings are back to back. This will take you like 30 seconds. You do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding, it will change your state, get you ready for the next meeting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is just stop, look for 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel, like your body on the chair, your hand on the keyboard, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can taste, no, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And that can really help you get into a more grounded, more physically grounded resource position. Yoga Nidra, I've talked about extensively. It's actually my favorite form of grounding. And for those of you not familiar, I'm more than happy to send you some resources. It's a great way to get you out of your fight or flight mode. And Yoga Nidra, there's quite a bit of research now on the effectiveness of NSDR, non-sleep deep rest. Now, I'm not advising you to take an hour out and sleep at work, but there are some guided exercises that are 10 minutes, and it's the equivalent of getting REM sleep. You're getting some deep rest, and you can come back refreshed and get back to work. Self-havening is another calming technique if you're feeling overwhelmed. I don't know if you can see me. This is just the simple gesture. It's just putting your arms and just doing a gentle touch, and a little tap can actually bring a state of calm. So very simple calming techniques. And then let's do a quick breathing exercise together. And as I said, you're always just one deep conscious breath away from your highest self. And from that Viktor Frankl quote, like just giving yourself that little extra space. So controlling your breathing, and Barb talks about this a lot, you can exercise control. What's great is it's you don't need a prescription for it. It's free of charge. It's accessible to every single person, no matter your age, position, everyone can access this. So let's try it together. We'll just do a quick box breathing. And it's so simple. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so simple, and I'm sure you feel a little different. I know I always do. Just 2 or 3 rounds of box breathing can change your state, can definitely change your emotional state. Now, those are the calming techniques. I want to share with you a few energizing techniques. And these are when you're feeling low in energy or feeling passive, like for the conscientious blue or empowering green. When you feel stressed, you feel a little inactive, these can help you get energized. And breathing exercises again, but the breathing exercises are a little different. There's one called Breath of Fire. You could look that up. I'm not a huge fan of these rapid breathing exercises, but they are known to be effective. Just a word of warning with the high energy breathing exercises, we recommend that you do not do these while driving. You do this in a safe space because sometimes people can get overwhelmed by the breathing and might feel faint. So just be careful with these exercises. See, that's how powerful breath is. 20-20-20 is also very simple, very easy to remember. Set a timer every 20 minutes, look out 20 feet for 20 seconds. This just gives your eyes a little bit of rest and to reduce eye strain, especially when you're so focused and you need just a little bit of a break. We can all use a physical stretch from time to time. And another great one is a cross-lateral exercise. Studies have shown that cross-lateral exercises can improve communication because you are accessing the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. So do this before going into a stressful meeting. I'll show you, you can look up online. There's so many great fun videos, but this can actually help with cognitive functions, including memory, attention, and creativity. In addition, cross-lateral exercises can help improve balance and physical coordination. You do this for a minute, 2 minutes. It can really make a difference. And why not? It's cheap, it's free, it's accessible to everyone. And then laughing or laughter yoga. So I'll show you a quick video for cross-lateral movement.
This one looks familiar, but I've added a bilateral twist. There's a clap in between each switch 'em.
I can't do it.
Clap, switch 'em, clap, switch 'em.
Takes a bit of practice. I can do the leg up and the knee, but I can't do this one. So takes a little bit of practice. And if you do it, just do this for a minute. You already feel like a fool, and then you have a giggle, and then you can go into your meeting. You're already resourced a little bit. This one
looks familiar, but
whoops. Here's laughter yoga. Now this only would take you 2 minutes.
Cecilia, I don't think we can hear it. I can't hear it, and I thought it might just be me. And I just put in the chat if everyone can hear it. And Samara said no, she
Can
can't.
everyone hear it? Samara, you can't hear it? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh,
We could hear the last one though.
really? But you can't hear this one. That's bizarre.
No.
Can't hear it?
It's breaking up. That's what's happening for me, and that's what Samara said. It comes and goes.
I'm sorry. The best part is listening to the laughter. I'm not going to subject you to broken up laughter. I'll send this to you. Actually, I'll send it as a separate link. 2 minutes, my friends, and it can change your day. Because as you can see their faces, laughter is just so hugely contagious. So I'm not sure what's happening with my sound, and I will make sure I fix it for the final video. Yeah, sorry about that. I hope everyone is still with me as I figure this out. Thank you. All right. So, laughter yoga. Very simple. Okay, thank you. All right. I'm going to share, go back. I've got share sound. It should be working. Okay. I only have a couple more things to share with you, and then we'll be done. Give me 1 second. So, what have you picked up so far? It's going to ask you to quickly pop in the chat. What have you found that might be worth trying? Any of the strategies that you think easy enough? I can try that out, whether they're energizing or calming. Oh, and by the way, you're going to get all of this in your cheat sheet. Hazy, 54321, great. Barb, eye movements. This is great when you stopped at a red light. And, just do that. Nothing wrong. It's also good for you to scan your environment. Sharon, box breathing, great. I'd love to hear some of your strategies as well. So I think we'll have a chance to do a little bit of sharing. And I'm going to go back to my deck because I have some last little bits to share with you that I think will be important for you to walk away, because I'm going to share with you 2 of the most effective regulation techniques. Can you see my screen? Yes, great. So this is based on research. This is not just me talking. And Barb knows this as well. We use a lot of science behind our work. And these 2 are proven to be the most effective regulation techniques. Our brains, human brains, are hardwired for connection. And it is a basic human need to feel a sense of belonging, to have approval and affection. So research has shown that connection increases well-being, resilience. It's the best antidote to the stressors of life, and it will reduce mood disorders. And even virtual interactions can cultivate connection. The gratitude piece, there's so much more research that is coming out. And as I said, I was very inspired by the power of positive psychology and just how simple these strategies are. And I'm going to just stress one more time. It may seem a little too simple and too good to be true, but darn it, they really work. They're really effective. I know that people out there are experiencing a lot of challenges, and they'll say, Cecilia, just because I call up a friend or practice gratitude, that will not take away my problems. I agree. Your problems will not be solved. However, by accessing the best part of you, strengthening yourself, you're in a much better position to face those problems. We're not here to talk about those stressors, people having mental health, or it's real, people are struggling. We're talking about just everyday strategies for just a regular workday. How can you make those work days go from ordinary to just a great day? So I have a quick video to show you. This video is worth staying for, and I hope, fingers crossed, Barb, just keep me on track to make sure that you can hear the volume. So this is some research on gratitude. It's about 6 minutes long, and I promise you, you're going to want to take notes.
Shut up.
Can you hear?
What? Wait. It's gonna be so bad.
No, Cecilia, it's going to be cackly again. Don't know what's happening.
What makes you happy? Having fun? Hanging out with
Okay.
friends? Delicious food? Making money? Well, consider this.
Psychologists have scientifically proven that one of the greatest contributing factors to overall happiness in your life, so much gratitude you show. Yeah? Think about that. Go ahead and marinate on it for a second. You can thank me later if you want. It'll make you feel better, according to this study. You go ahead and click on it and read it if you want. Or you can keep watching because we read it and we thought it might be fun to test out for ourselves. We gathered a selection of volunteers to act as our subjects. First, we gave them a test. They didn't know what we were looking for, but it gave us a pretty good idea of their current level of happiness. We asked them to close their eyes and think of somebody who was really influential in them, somebody who did something really amazing or important for them. We had them write down as much as they could about why this person was so important. Now, a lot of them thought at this point the experiment was over until we really put them on the spot and tried to get them to call that person and read what they wrote. Thank you, Jessica. We're going to have you call your mother. So who is that right person for you?
Person is my sister, Erica.
We're going to give Erica a call.
Okay.
Who'd you end up picking?
Friend of mine, Craig Ames. Her name is Dora.
Really? Is this somebody you're still in touch with today?
No, I'm assuming that he's passed on.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
You up for it?
Yes.
What would you say if we called up?
Oh, well, we can try, but she lives
In Britain?
Oh, no, never by heart. This is awful.
That's fine. I don't know my mom's number. What?
If it's true that those who are going looking down on us, maybe you read my shit is correct.
Hey, how you doing? You got a second? Where you at? Hotel? No, no. I'm on like this little TV show. They told me to talk about the person that influenced me the most, and pick you, making me call you.
Here right now.
At the tone, please record your message.
Oh, come on. Hi, Erica. It's me.
All right, so I gotta read you this paragraph. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, sweetheart.
All right. The person that influenced me the most would be my mother, Marlo Dawson. She is a single mother of two. She is a very hard worker and dedicated to her family.
Hey, Craig. This is Loie. This is going to be a funny little voicemail, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm so sorry for calling you at 4 o'clock in the morning. I have to read this to you, okay? And you can't say anything, or I don't know. You can respond, but I probably will just keep going. Okay?
Is everything okay?
Yes, but I have to read this out loud to you.
The person who has had the biggest impact, aside of Jesus Christ, who was responsible for my existence, was my college accounting instructor. He had a joy and enthusiasm for his job like no other teacher I've ever known.
I love her to death, and she keeps me going with positive talk. She is a woman that knows what she wants and won't give up until it is achieved.
Oh, it sounds good. I have to say that it's wonderful.
I first met Craig on an independent feature film set in Whitefish, Montana. I recently have been sending Craig a lot of positive thoughts as he suffered a series of health problems. Despite his medical problems, he's continued to work and take pleasure in the small things in life, like sitting quietly with his wife, Janine, on the porch. Erica is my older sister and my best friend. Sometimes it even feels like we are twins. She's my #1 fan and my #1 supporter. She makes me happy because despite all my mistakes and my decisions, she still loves me no matter what. Your friendship is everything. And you are one of the most important person in my life. Even when she has a kid and many children, I will love her more than her kids. Okay, maybe not. I will never forget when she flew 3,000 miles at the drop of a phone call to save me from a breakup.
And being question what happened to someone.
Thank you for taking that. Nice meeting. Then they're like, here, you're gonna write this letter. And then I wrote like this whole long ass letter, which I like don't write. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, guess what? Now we're gonna call her and you're gonna read her this letter.
Before we let them go, we gave our subjects one more happiness test. Now we mixed up and rephrased the questions so they didn't know they were taking the same test twice. For those who took the time to actually write something down but couldn't make the phone call for whatever reason, we saw happiness increase between 2 and 4%. Good, but not exactly mind-blowing. Now for those who actually picked up the phone and personally expressed their gratitude, we saw increases between 4 and 19%. So either way, expressing your gratitude will make you a happier person. But you want to know something really interesting? The person who experienced the biggest jump in happiness was the least happy person who walked in the door. What does that mean? That means if you're having a particularly tough time, trying this out will more likely have a greater impact on you. Trust me, I'm in a lab coat. In fact, while you're at it, film it and upload it to us, and we'll do something awesome with it. I'm Julian, and this has been The Science of Happiness.
Okay, thank you for watching to the end. It's a very touching video just to show you how simple it is. And you have all these strategies at your fingertips. Short of calling people, I have a great resource to share with you. This is one, it's an app called 3 Good Things. I will put the link in the chat for those of you who like apps, and this will keep you on track. Very easy just to input the 3 things you're grateful for each day and just watch that build up. It becomes a habit, and I've been doing it every day. I'm on this, I don't know, 200-day streak or something. Simple, something you can do with your coworkers, and something I recommend to clients who are under extreme stress and those who are needing solutions. I would tell them, just do this, add these disciplines into these habits into your daily life and see changes come through. So again, something very simple, something that you can manage, something very easy to add. I'm going to pause here for a moment because we're nearing the end and I don't have time to go into a breakout, which is unfortunate, but I thought I would just open it up to all of you to see if you have anything to share on a strategy that has worked for you, something that we had not mentioned, some kind of grounding, some kind of resource strategy that you use in your day-to-day. Feel free to open up your mic and to share, or put a comment in the chat. What's something that you do to help ground yourself? Go for a walk. Listen to music. Yeah, thank you, Sharon. Do you have like a playlist that's specifically for stressful days, or one that's for calming, one that's for energizing? Barb, step outside for a few moments. Taking the fresh air, yes. But not just any fresh air. She takes in bush fresh air. And Sarah smiling. There's something special about bush fresh air, huh? Walk bare feet on the grass, Matt. That is, there's more and more research about like how grounding that is, that we have lost our connection to the earth. Just 5 minutes of walking around barefoot feet can help. Okay, Samara, bye. Samara left us. Yeah, love that. Okay, anything else? Well, we shared a lot of strategies and tips today. You will get more. You'll get all this when you receive our cheat sheet. I do want to put the 3 good things in the chat so that you could check that out.
Cecilia, Sharon said earlier on that she would really like some more NSDR tips and information from you.
Great. I will reach out to her. I'll email her. Is Sharon still with us?
Yeah, she's still here. She did it in the chat a little while ago. I just took a
Great.
note. I'm just letting you know now.
I'll definitely email you, Sharon. All right, I'm going to finish up here. Very exciting, Barb. We have our book to give away. All right. So in our final minutes, I'm going to share my screen one more time. So we have a few upcoming master classes in a week, just more than a week. I'm delivering one on team dysfunction. Barb's October 8th from Smash to Smashing It, I highly recommend. And in October, we have a couple more. We haven't posted the info yet, but you can scan that QR code and just stay connected to get the registration info. So as our giveaway today, and as a thank you for being engaged and playing along, I'm giving away this book called Go Put Your Strengths to Work by Marcus Buckingham. Marcus Buckingham's work has been celebrated, and I used to train on this about 15 years ago. He also supports an organization called Strength Finders. It's all about focusing on your strengths. So this book is going to be a great start. I believe you can go to the website and actually get a free assessment on what your strengths are. So go and check these out. Celebrate your strengths. And Barb is going to spin the wheel, and we're going to see who is going to win the book. So I'm going to stop share, and let me see.
All right, and I'm going to start sharing. Okay. I'm in a hotel too, doing this on my laptop, so bear with me. Okay. Oh, wait, I want to put the sound on because the sound is really cool as well. So bear with me. I mean, it's the little things, right? Okay. Okay, you should any minute see my wheel. Everyone can see the wheel there, ready to go. You can see it, Cecilia? Okay.
Yes.
All right, we are now going to, I'm going to spin the wheel and see which lucky person it lands on. Oh, Sarah! Yay!
Congratulations, Sarah. Well done, Sarah. See, there's something to celebrate. Small things. Hopefully, you're so welcome.
So Cecilia, you can send that to me because Sarah and I see each other quite regularly, so I can give it to her in person.
Oh, great. Okay. So I've ordered the books, and they're supposed to deliver to me to Vancouver next week, but I'm out of town for about 10 days. So I won't be able to send it until I get back from my trip to the US. So it might be about 2 to 3 weeks, but the book is all yours.
And coming from all the way from the Northern Hemisphere.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know, it's got to be even more special because it's coming from Canada.
Yes,
So
thank you.
I'm going to wrap up here. And, there are quite a few things for you to take action on. We covered a lot of content today, about the 4 colors, about the 8 aspects. And if you didn't get your Lumina Splash, please go. It'll only take you about 5 minutes to answer the questions. And then you can send me your splash. We can have a chat about it. I can give you some background as to what you can do, how to magnify your strengths. And really fun part of Lumina is that you can get your coworkers, your friends and family to get their splash, and then you can compare. So how you compare is you do an overlay, and it's a really fun overlay when you get to look at each other's. So I'll share with you my code. I am not embarrassed to share my code. And what you can do is scan my QR code. And then when you get yours, you can compare. So hold on. Not as smooth with the Zoom today, Barb. I'm normally so much better at this. Don't know what's happened. So here we go. So there's a QR code for our Google review if you liked our session today. And we encourage you to invite others, just tell other people to attend our master classes because they're fun. We give value. That's our focus. And then the QR code on the right-hand side is my Lumina Splash. And then once you get yours, then you can compare and see how we are compatible, how we balance each other's strengths, And what's a great way for us to communicate? It gives you all the tips on how to communicate this person with a particular splash. So I am very close. We're actually in the final minute. How am I doing for time? 4 more minutes to go. Final comments. I'm going to end the slideshow and I'll open it up to you to see if you have any final comments to share with us today. Please feel free to unmute yourself. Love to hear your comments. And I'm going to stop the recording.